Hey guys, I got kind of tired from doing all that swimming. I was trying to get ready to swim across the river that we have to do on the show. So I took a break and I pulled my book back out. And I thought I had read it all, but I was only in the first chapter. There's another group of people that were in Mesoamerica. They were called the Aztecs. The Aztecs, that's right. They came about a few hundred years after the Mayans began to decline. They grew to cover most of present day Mexico. The powerful Aztec government ruled over millions of people who lived in well planned cities and traded with tribes far and wide. It says that in 1325, the Aztecs built their capital, Tenochtitlan, on a swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. Texcoco is now Mexico City. They chose this island based on an ancient prophecy that said that the Aztecs would find the site of a great city where an eagle perched on a cactus, cactus growing out of a rock. The Aztecs believed they were following their god's orders when they saw this occur at this site. They said that Tenochtitlan means place of the prickly pear cactus. It says the city had a complex system of roads, canals, aqueducts, and bridges. At its center were palaces, temples, schools, and marketplaces. It says that Tenochtitlan reached a population of 200,000. That's a lot of people on an island. It says it was one of the largest cities of its time. It says they conquered nearby lands and created an empire stretching from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean. It says they had causeways or raised streets of hard earth that connected to land from the island, and that the aqueducts brought in fresh water. Canals were used to transport produce to the city's marketplaces, and they had a yearly calendar created. And they used hieroglyphics for record keeping, just like the Egyptians and the Mayans. These people all liked hieroglyphics. It says they worshiped the sun god because they believed this god would bring good harvest. And they also believed that the sun god would rise only with the strength from human blood. The Aztecs faithfully sacrificed humans for the sun god. To them, a few deaths were worth it to protect all their people. No sun equals no crops and hungry people. They thought they had to kill people to make the sun come up? That's crazy, man. The Aztecs made it easier on themselves by sacrificing people from other tribes. Prisoners from battles and conquest were the most common sacrificial offerings. However, the constant need to capture new prisoners weakened the empire and caused other tribes to hate the Aztecs. It says that the Aztecs were great inventors, astronomers, and farmers. They were also fierce in battle, expanding their territory and taking prisoners of war who became slaves. It says slaves could own land and sometimes buy their freedom, but sometimes they were killed during religious ceremonies. I guess that's where it said they were the sacrifices. It says they recorded their history and made predictions of the future, but we have very few of their writings today. It says the conquerors arrived from Spain in the 1500s, burned their books, destroyed Tenochtitlan, and brought about the fall of the mighty Aztec culture. That's not nice, man. They showed up and messed everything up. It says here that the Spanish conquistador in 1519 was Hernan Cortez, and he's the guy that fought the troops who fought the Aztecs. And by 1521, the battles and the diseases the Spanish had brought made it too hard to keep fighting. It says Montezuma, the Aztec emperor, surrendered, and the Spanish built Mexico City over the city of Tenochtitlan. It said in 1978, hundreds of years after Mexico City was built, major excavations began in Tenochtitlan, uncovering ruins like the Templo Mayor, their main temple complex, and a number of artifacts were also discovered. That's kind of cool, guys. And do you really believe this stuff about human sacrifices? I think people are kind of crazy. But it says archaeologists have found huge numbers of human bones on the sites of temples. Mayan and Aztec art also depicts human sacrifices. The Aztec believed sacrifices were required by the gods to keep the world in balance. Human sacrifices also scared their enemies. It scared their enemies. I'd be scared too if they were saying they were going to kill me as a sacrifice to the gods. Well, guys, that's a lot of information about the Aztecs. So I'm gonna take another break and I'm gonna go play. I found the Legends of the Hidden Temple video game for the old NES. My mama had one, so she let me borrow it to plug up and try to play it to see if it'll help me get ready for the show. So I'm gonna throw that up here and I'm gonna play that in just a minute, and we'll see you guys later. Oh man, this is such a cool game. I love this game. All right.